Hey there everyone, PhilChill here and welcome to my channel. Today we're back with Haunted Chocolatier, where we'll be covering some of the news that we know so far about the progress of the game and some other aspects of it as well. Haunted Chocolatier is a game that I'm quite looking forward to playing, and I think a lot of you as well, but as the game is still in early development, it's too soon to talk about the release date of it. I would prefer ConcernedApe to take his time with it, so at the end we get an amazing game. And luckily, ConcernedApe graces us with some of the screenshots that he makes from the development and he posts them on Twitter, where we're at least getting along with the progress he makes. Today, I'll be covering everything that we know so far about the development of the game, showing up some screenshots that ConcernedApe posted himself on Twitter, as well as answers to some questions that were posted by the community, which are highly related to the game. So let's get started. Starting off from the latest screenshot that he shared, which is from a brand new mechanic, which I guess are boss fights that we'll be having in the game. I just don't know if it's a singular one though. I truly hope that there will be more bosses like this for different areas basically, but we'll have to wait for the game to come out to check that out though. Overall, it gives me quite a Terraria vibe crossed with Core Keeper if you have seen that game recently, and I think that's awesome though. We can see a big bee in the middle, and I just hope that's not the queen bee. I just don't want to destroy the whole hive only to get some honey there, like, I love bees. And the more important thing that we can get from this is that compared to Stardew Valley, here you need to focus on the combat more of the game. Since you have the stun mechanics, as we can see here, and you need to defend and attack at the right times, so the game will focus mostly on combat to progress further. I can't wait to check that out since it will be much more different compared to Stardew Valley that we're used to playing, like you just go full ham into the mines or skull caverns and just beat your way down to the lower levels. And we can't just bypass the music that I guess will be for the boss fight. I don't know, but it's an amazing sound, and I think it's just for a club or something, you can just dance to it. It's not even like for a boss music, I think. Listen to this though. And ConcernedApe himself is making all the sounds and music for the game as he did for Stardew Valley. So I think that will add on the time that he will need to finish the game. The next screenshot that we have is quite older. I think it was posted on August 2nd and it shows just a basic room with a character in the middle. I don't know what this room is for, but I would guess it's like a basement or something, since in the trailer we can see the house walls are made of wood. So that's only my guess for it though. Also, one thing that caught my eye is how the character stands out in the room. Maybe since the game is still in development that will be changed, since I don't see any shading implemented on the character, due to the vibrant color of his clothes, while standing in a darkened area. I truly hope that this is something that will be fixed in the future release basically, and maybe it's something that ConcernedApe didn't pay much attention to since he has more, like, how can I say, different issues to handle about the game and so on. But one thing that ConcernedApe did after posting this image, and makes me really respect him as a creator, and that is, someone in the comment section noticed that there was something off with the perspective of the room, and ConcernedApe immediately went in and fixed up everything about that, and he posted the next screenshot which had some changes made into the room. To be honest, for me, I didn't notice anything strange about the perspective from the first picture though, but like someone noticed and even ConcernedApe noticed, so he went in there full ham, fixed up everything and just reposted the screenshot again. And that goes to show how much he cares for every detail of the game, making me respect him as a developer even more. And from his text on the Twitter post, I figured out that these sides here are something like drop down areas. Either you jump from there on those blocks on the ground, or those circular things above may act as a button that will make a lift go up. What do you think about this? What kind of mechanic do you think will be implemented here though? I would like to hear your answers down below in the comment section. As for the last thing that I wanted to cover is the emblem that we can see above the passage. It shows a moon with two trees, so my guess for this is that it will be a passage of some kind, leading to a forest that is represented by the two trees on the emblem. The moon emblem, however, I would think would be more like, how can I say, the area will be in perpetual darkness, like it will be dark all the time, and here we'll be able to find some certain monsters or materials that can be found in this area here. Maybe this basement with the passage will be locked at the start for us, and as we progress into the game, we'll unlock it and get access to this secret area maybe of the game, or a farming spot basically. There was one question that was posted by a member of the community, which I think sheds a bit of light on it, and that is, I'm interested to see how the idea of ghosts and the paranormal play with the townsfolk. Will they be used to seeing the ghosts and spooks, or they are kept separate? So to this question, ConcernedApe answered with, mostly separate, it's your own secret world. From this I can gather that I think basically all of those rooms, you'll have different rooms in the house that lead to different worlds, basically your own secret worlds. But I just don't know how like the townsfolk wouldn't be able to see the ghosts, like the floating chocolate that we see in the shop all the time when the NPCs in the trailer, so I can't wait to check that out though. Like it's different when we see it for the first time, and it's quite different when we play the game as well. So that's my take mostly on those two screenshots that we have so far from ConcernedApe. I hope after the release of the 1.5 mobile update for Stardew Valley, we'll finally get more information on how much progress has been made to the game. But for now, we'll be going through a couple of questions that were posted by the community, to which ConcernedApe gave answers to, and that will shed more light about the game. The first question is about how much the Haunted Chocolatier will relate to Stardew Valley's story or lore, because those owls look familiar. And to this ConcernedApe replied, it's gonna be its own separate game, with a self-contained identity. It's not a Stardew 2, but there might be some shared lore. I haven't nailed down exactly to what degree the two will be connected. I had this feeling since the moment I first saw the trailer, because the mountains in the background were the same from Stardew Valley. So I always thought that they were set in the same world, but different areas. Another pretty important question that was posted is, will there be a community center in the game, like in Stardew Valley for example? And to this ConcernedApe replied, there won't be anything directly analogous to a community center, but there will be elements that fulfill a similar role, one of them being the big old castle that you're living in. Going by this, we can conclude that the big castle that we're living in will be unlockable bit by bit as you progress further down. There was also a question about what will the price of the game be on the release date, and to this ConcernedApe replied that the price will be the same as Stardew Valley, and it definitely won't be more. So it's a good thing to know. There were also questions on the sort like, would you consider this a spiritual successor to Stardew? From the pre-release stuff, it feels like a reskinned modded Stardew. And to this ConcernedApe plainly replied, I don't know, it's just another game that I'm making, and to be honest, I love that answer because there's too much expectation that it will be another like Stardew Valley successor clone, but from all that we've seen so far, it feels like a brand new different game, but only the look is similar to the old game that he made. And that's why I love this answer. He just says plainly, it's a new game that he's making. There was also another question that was posted, and that was, what will be the specific day-to-day tasks of the protagonist? Will it be like Stardew, gathering, growing ingredients, or something else? And the answer was, it will be similar to Stardew in some ways, but it's not running a farm, and I think you'll find that it feels quite different. So basically, even from this, even from the trailer, we noticed that there was no farmable spots and things like that. You hunt for materials and gather them from the nature. With that, this will be a brand new game, so quite different from the Stardew that we know. And another question confirms that. Are we going to be able to plant in this game, or is it more about the shop? ConcernedApe replied that there might be some plant cultivation, but it's not a farming game. So we shouldn't expect that when we get into the game, but still we'll need to find out when it releases. And the last question that I wanted to cover is, will Haunted Chocolatier be for mobile too? And to this ConcernedApe plainly said, he doesn't know. Probably not, to be honest. My thoughts on this is that the game won't be accessible on mobile. I think it will be mostly accessible to the console versions and the PC as well. Maybe in the future he may decide to change that, but we'll find out then. And there you have it. That's everything that we know so far about the progress of Haunted Chocolatier, as well as some of my takes of the things that we saw until now. I'm still quite hopeful that we'll see the game come out soon, but from everything we have gathered so far, I think it's quite far from being ready, and it will maybe need 1 or 2 more years until the final release. Since the last update was about the boss mechanics, I'm hoping that in the upcoming months we'll see more updates from ConcernedApe about the game and or the progress of the same, so I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, we can only wait patiently for the final release. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up since it helps me out a lot. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you get notified of all of my future videos. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in my next one. But till then, stay safe!